I've been eating 3,500 calories for almost 60 days straight, and honestly, it's starting to show. Jeff Nipper told me to bulk for 100 days straight, and we're officially over halfway through. So let's talk about how it's going so far and what we need to change to make sure that we hit our goal weight and physique for the end of this challenge. At the beginning of this bulk, we weighed in at 157.7 pounds. Our current weight trend has us at 161.5 pounds. So as far as the weight goes, we're pretty much on track to hit our goal weight by the end of this 100 days, which is 165 pounds. But just because we're on track for our weight doesn't mean that it's been easy so far. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the diet struggles that I've had so far through this challenge. Even though I'm using MacroFactor to track all of my calories and macros, I haven't been using a diet plan and I haven't been meal prepping. The benefit of not doing either of those things is that I haven't gotten tired of my diet. But the downside of that is that I'm eating something different every single day. So not only are my calories different every day, but so are my macros. And especially when you're doing a lean bulk like I am, it's important to hit those goals every single day. In the very beginning of this challenge, I found myself having a ton of extra calories that I had to eat right before I went to bed just to hit my calorie goal. And even though it wasn't a true late night binge, I still wasn't hitting the macro goals that I needed for the entire day. I was having to find snacks in the cabinet just to hit my calorie goals. And although I've been hitting my calorie goal every single day, my trend for my macros hasn't been quite the same. My macro goals are 164 grams of protein, 116 grams of fat, and 446 grams of carbs. But my actual macros are a little different. I've been hitting close to 200 grams of protein, which isn't a bad thing, but a little bit higher on the fats, closer to 125 grams, and then just under 400 grams for the carbs. So although I'm not hitting my exact macro goals, I am hitting my calorie goals almost every single day. But as I've been on this bulk, things have changed over time a little bit. I've gotten more used to eating bigger meals instead of having to snack throughout the entire day or binge right before bed just to hit my calorie goals. And the benefit of this is that it leads me closer to hitting my fat and carb goals while still exceeding that 165 grams of protein. I'm definitely okay with going over on the protein, but I want to keep the fat and the carb goal around what my macros are set to. So going forward, in order to make sure that I am hitting my macro goals and my calorie goals, I'm going to continue to make larger meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and try and snack a little bit less throughout the day, making sure that I'm getting most of my macros through nice, healthy, whole foods. It's super important no matter whether you're bulking or cutting to be eating foods that you enjoy. So eating things like lean ground beef, chicken, ground turkey, rice, and potatoes is essential for me. It's also beneficial to be consuming most of your calories through whole foods. Not only is that going to help with the calorie and the macro goals, but it's going to help with your micronutrients as well. It's just going to help you get that extra 1% in the gym, 1% of muscle growth, and 1% everywhere else. So the diet hasn't been overwhelmingly too difficult. In the beginning, I wasn't eating enough and then having to eat snacks at night, but by making my meals just a little bit bigger every time that I eat, I'm not having to snack quite as much throughout the day. So as far as the diet goes, I pretty much have that locked down. So let's talk about the other most important thing while you're on a bulk, your training. And honestly, this portion of it has been kind of rough for me. In the beginning of the challenge, I was super excited to be getting strength gains and be putting on muscle and just seeing those weights and reps go up in the gym. Also in the beginning of the challenge, I was just getting back to training legs after a knee injury, so I've been taking things super light on my legs even till this point. Unfortunately, when I push my legs a little bit too hard, it still does get sore, so I'm still taking things easy in that department. So let's go ahead and talk about the upper body. As far as the actual exercises that I'm doing, they're pretty similar to what I've always done. The goal is to just use progressive overload to make sure that I'm increasing in weight and increasing in reps along with this bulk. So the idea is you're taking in more nutrients, it'll help you rebuild your muscles more quickly, you'll be able to add weight in the gym, not only become stronger, but build more muscle as well. But anyone who goes to the gym knows that progressive overload isn't just a straight upward path, because if that was the case, then we'd all be giant, huge, and strong. But that's just not how things work. About a month into this bulk, I was ready to increase in weight in almost all of my lifts. I had been able to do more reps, and I was feeling more energized and just a little bit stronger in the gym. Pretty much exactly what I was hoping for. So I increased weight on almost all of my lifts and dropped the reps down just a little bit to match, to get that progressive overload to that next step, to get it to that, pathway up to getting more reps on a higher weight and just building more muscle. But unfortunately, on the day that I increased the reps, something felt just a little bit weird in my shoulder. I didn't feel like I was pushing anything too hard or with bad form. All I did was increase the weight and decrease the reps a little bit and try and perform the exercises like I normally do. A couple hours after the gym, I started to get a pretty decently bad pain in my left shoulder. I've had some issues with it in the past, and normally I just have to give it a couple days rest, and then I can go back to things pretty much as usual as they were before. So I did exactly that, but I also have a pretty physical job, which doesn't allow me to heal 100%. I'm on my feet and constantly lifting things up and down. So my shoulder didn't get the necessary rest that it was required in order to hit the gym at 100% the next time I worked out. So I had almost about a week where I wasn't really able to work out at 100%. And then when I was back in the gym and able to go 100% again, I decided that it was probably a good idea to not keep the increased weight, just go back down to the original weight and just try to perform more reps to make sure that I didn't injure anything going forward. So my thought process now is that I'm just going to try and increase reps as it is. So I'm going to keep the same amount of weight and just increase in reps. Hopefully this is still going to aid in the progressive overload and the hypertrophy of my muscles, but only time will tell. I really don't want to deal with another injury that's going to keep me out of the gym for more than a couple days. So I think this is the best case scenario, is to just increase in reps, hopefully still be getting stronger and reach those hypertrophy goals, but keep everything nice and healthy, keep my joints happy, and keep progressing. So the real question is, am I just gaining fat or am I gaining muscle too? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys are doing the 100-day MacroFactor challenge, let me know down in the comments. How are you guys doing so far? Are you cutting? Are you bulking? What are your goals? Let me know how you're doing. If you enjoyed the video, click on one of the other videos on the screen here. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.